The Esmée Fairbairn Collections Fund is a really innovative fund for making collections that are either underutilised or unknown, bringing those into the public realm and using them more fruitfully with communities.
Sheffield has an amazing history of protest and activism, but it's one that, as you kind of imagine, isn't necessarily represented in museum collections. Things may have a relevance to those topics, but may not have been catalogued in that way. So we thought actually there's things in our collection which we need to unearth, but there's also things out in the community and elsewhere in the city that we need to be connected to. So our project really is looking at that history and the present of protest and activism in the city. Before we had this funding, we had a desire to look at this history of the city, but what we didn't have was the capacity. So what this funding's enabled is a person who's really dedicated to this. We asked people what the really important campaigns and issues were for them today, and we got lots of really interesting feedback. To try different things and get some learning from it is, that's really invaluable.
The project we're working with through the Esmée Fairbairn Fund is looking at our Journey exhibition. The Journey exhibition follows the life of a 10-year-old German Jewish boy called Leo. Where this project is really important is if you come into this space as a member of the public, as an adult, there is no contextual background, historical knowledge. So what we're looking at is how we can support members of the public to actually provide some of that context. We've been holding a series of focus groups and really trying to understand how they want to learn about the Holocaust when the survivors are no longer with us. Because the collection at the centre is so important for us telling the story, we need to really look at different avenues of bringing that collection to life. With the support of Esmée and the MA, we're thinking of designing an app so that audiences who've not got the benefit of a guide can learn through survivors and educators what the collections mean.
It gives me a feeling of fulfilment that part of my story, part of what happened to me during the Holocaust is realised through this exhibit, and people are able to connect with what happened to me, and it'll continue and stay forevermore. I'm very proud of that.
The National Museum's NI Esmée Fairbairn Collections Fund project is about creatively engaging with different community groups in order to create connections to their public art collection. We have in the past brought history collections out to communities and science collections, but it's always been very difficult with the art collection. So the fund has really given us the tools to experiment with different ways of bringing the art collection to groups from different community backgrounds, such as retired age groups, young parents, people who have literacy issues, and to see their excitement whenever they get to see these works of art is incredible.
The Esmée Fairbairn Collections Fund has been brilliant for us. We're really trying to challenge perceptions about what we mean by fine art, who it's for. I think the project is really raising awareness amongst audiences and communities. It's helping them to see that museums are for them, that art collections are for them, and I think that is a model we want to take forward, working across all our different types of collections.
We have a further 2 years of sponsorship to give away £3.9 million between now and 2019. There are 2 rounds of applications, one in March and one in September of every year, and we've recently improved and enhanced all of the guidance notes on the Museum Association website, so please have a look and think about applying.